back to Unfamiliar. And it's your girl, Nay. I'm here with Tony Love.
Hi.
And as you can see, we have a very special first-time guest, Creative Christ at
Welcome.
Creative Christ.
Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
Yep. This is long awaited and much overdue. And you guys are going to get your whole life today. Okay, hopefully she can drop some gems on myself and all of you guys listening.
My fan is back, y'all. I'm so sorry.
Fan is back. They got it hot up in this bitch. It is hot.
They are trying to burn me alive.
It's
It's toasty shit again. Where are we coming? How many weeks we in 80 plus in here?
It's a storm.
Storm.
So if we tend to glisten, that's all it is. It's just a little sparkle and glitter.
That's just a little love from God, y'all. He glistening, honey.
Okay.
Receive that.
Okay, that's all that is, honey.
So we got a little robe talk going on. We got Crystal in a robe, okay? We're in the robe, and we're going to give you some robe talk. I want to open it up with your boy. Just keeping it lighthearted here. Your boy, Sammy Sosa. Actually, I don't have my phone. Do you have yours?
I do. I can pull up the picture.
Please show our good friend.
So I can show you,
Boy.
Crystal. So, Sammy Sosa, if you are unfamiliar, he is a famous baseball player. Don't get me into telling you what team he played for because that's all I can tell you.
And he's either Puerto Rican or Dominican.
He was Hispanic, Latino.
Cuban.
What is the correct term? He's not black.
Latin. He's a Latin dude. Brown skin though. I mean,
Yes.
he was
Yes.
brown skin. I just. It's not him.
It is.
Crazy. It is him.
That can't be the same person.
So I'm gonna Google another one because you always need more than just one, you know.
What's happening?
But would you say, Tony, that he's been doing that over time, or like it wasn't
So,
surprising to you?
I was actually I've been familiar. So
Wow.
to everyone else, Sammy Sosa does bleach. He has been very vocal about his bleaching, over the years. So in this picture, just say he bought my complexion, right? In his younger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's brown skin like me, but
He now is my complexion.
he is now Crystal's complexion all through bleaching over the years. I think that I think anybody who bleaches their skin is not well. That is how I feel. I think maybe they need to talk to somebody or just
Like a little mental. It's like something in there. It like self-hate. Really. Is
Yeah.
what it is. You don't want to see yourself as. But I feel like all that shit. Body dysmorphia.
I'm about to ask,
Yeah.
Plastic surgery.
what would be the difference between getting work done to
Mm.
enhance certain things and then bleaching your skin? Wouldn't that still boil down to the same root of something?
Yep.
Like it would.
Damn. Crystal done broke me down already. Is that a record?
She quick with it.
We start. Shit.
It shows a
You
lack
know,
of self-love.
I'm a little now. You know what? Now you guys have touched my spirit because I have been saying for the past couple of weeks, and I'll just be vocal about it now. To a few closer friends that I within the next couple of years I'm going to go under the knife. Now I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm going to change all of these things about my body. I'm not. I'm just lazy, and I would like to lose weight. And I'm just gonna, lose as much as I can until my body kind of looks the way that I want it to. But there are pieces of my body that I do not like that I do want change. Nothing crazy, nothing on my face. I'm not about to enlarge anything. But I don't think that is rooted in hate because I don't hate my skin complexion. I don't hate my curves. I'm not going to lose a drastic amount. I'm not trying to go from 200 plus to like 125. Like that stuff, I just want to be a little bit more comfortable about smaller insecurities that I have. But I think there are levels, right?
Absolutely.
I think, let's say for instance, I go in and just get a little lipo under my arm versus the cat lady who done went in for over 200 surgeries and got all the Botox, the fillers, and you know what I'm saying. I feel like there are levels, right? I wouldn't say that I hate myself though.
Okay, so you got to think about this. Like, yes, I would say someone like, to the extreme of like bleaching your skin over time like that, to where there's such a drastic difference, is like a level of he kind of is openly saying, I did not like my old skin, I wanted new skin. But if he could have done anything, he couldn't have done anything else to change that. Like, okay, I feel like when you change things on your body, like a breast reduction or a BBL where you take your fat and you move it places, or lipo, some of those things you can shape yourself. Like, you can change yourself without surgery. So I feel like to do, like, he must have really just not liked it, because there was no other choice. It's like either live with it or this is your only option. And I think all of it has to do with, maybe like you said, laziness is like more so a key for.
That was it for me. I love to be real with myself. I think when you lie to yourself, it's the worst lie you can tell and the worst person you can lie to. Yeah. I'm just lazy.
So it boils down to intention then, and the reason behind why you're doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. Ultimately,
right.
And some of those reasons are rooted in self-hate, and then some of those reasons are rooted in just wanting to be different in some way.
Yeah, I guess yeah. I don't disagree with that. I think it's different for everybody, and I think ultimately what it really does boil down to, as well as those things, is you giving so much life to your personal insecurities than who you are as a person, right? So that's my unfamiliar. We like to get unfamiliar and go into different territories, open up a little bit. So I guess that's my thing. Like, I have been giving a lot of energy and feeding a lot of these insecurities that I have when
you shouldn't.
I shouldn't. I don't have any reason to.
No, you look great first and foremost. And I
thanks.
Say that. And a lot of I feel that women want to change can be changed without the work. And yes, being lazy, I get that. But then, did you want this? I'm sorry. Being lazy, I get that. But then I feel like, okay, when you get into like maybe tweaking your nose a little bit, or shit. If we're getting into like body real quick, Cardi B looks completely different. Her entire face is pulled back like this.
I think a lot of that is
the eyes are all the way back.
I haven't seen that either.
I know you said,
but
I think Cardi is more, her makeup's very dramatic. It's very heavy. I don't know if she got any work done in her face though. Has she?
It's literally like this. You guys, I wish I could pull it up on the bottom of the screen, y'all. I'm telling you, it's like,
I'm trying to see what you.
It's professionally done.
So my question then would be, in general, are they happy with themselves, or do you have to continue to go down this rabbit hole of doing more transformations in order to find a moment of happiness, or are you truly happy? Like, do you wake up in the morning and are happy with yourself, or do you find something else that you need to fix or you need to change? And I think that's also what it boils down to. If you go and get bigger boobs and a bigger butt, are you happy with who you are, or are you still seeking validation in some way, and then now still trying to find ways to seek more validation?
Yeah, because if you were to go out and get that done, then
that should be it.
Yeah, that should be it. But most of the time, it's not. Most of the time, it's a nitpicking.
Well, also, I think the insecurities come from, maybe not being happy with yourself, and then seeking it from someone else. So then you change to what you think they might like. Because, I just don't understand what's wrong with a natural woman's body. I just don't understand this whole, we have to transfer fat to our asses, because everybody is not shaped the same way.
Right.
It is honestly all the rap women that are out right now, everybody looks exactly the same. They're doing heavy makeup. And I get it. If you're doing a show or whatever, and maybe they're always on present mode. when you're famous. You're always on present mode. You don't have time to like be on your downtime. But maybe I think that's what we liked about Cardi B to begin with, is that we saw her in her natural state, fucked up after in the morning, you know, after being at the club all night or whatever, or the studio. I want to see some authenticity in people these days, and it starts with honestly who people are looking up to. And if you're looking up to celebrities, they are all looking fake and weird and plastic right now.
I think authenticity is what heals us. Authenticity, transparency, vulnerability, and we don't allow ourselves to be any of those things when we're choosing to mask ourselves with everything else.
Yeah.
And that's
it's who we present that who we want to show to everybody else.
And it's like, but at night in our room, that's not who we are.
Right.
And then we're miserable people trying to be someone we're not, and then mad because people don't accept who we really are. But it boils back down to us. We don't accept who we are, but we want others to accept us.
Right.
Yep. If you don't show it though, also nobody would be able to accept you for who you really are. And honestly, when people show a little bit of vulnerability and authenticity like that, is when you get the most like bees. That's your honey. That's your sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
That's where I feel like Cardi had that in the bag. My point was self-love. Is it hard to love on yourself in this day and age, in this time, in the type of world we're living in?
I think that it's hard in general because we're taught to love others before we love ourselves, and we don't know what loving ourselves looks like.
I agree.
Damn. Say that one again.
Yeah.
What?
That's
What?
literally that's it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody ever teaches you growing up how to love yourself. You always know how to, you know, how you're supposed to love and treat your mom, how you're supposed to love and treat your brothers and your sisters and things like that. But nobody growing up tells you or explains to you, you know what I'm saying, self-love.
Whoa.
Hey, this is how you love yourself. This is what makes you, you know what I'm saying, a queen, or whatever term of endearment that you use for a woman that you love in your life. You know what I'm saying? Very rarely do we see that. I feel like we see that more. Well, I see that more online now with like fathers with like younger girls, and they're always speaking up to their girls. You know, I've seen a few of those videos, but I also feel like I know for me growing up, I was in a one-parent household, so you know what I'm saying, it was a little bit harder for my mom to concentrate on 3 kids and then give me that kind of, she was in survival mode.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Certain things become lost, I feel like, and I feel like
necessity.
Yeah.
Like, you gotta prioritize what's important to do in my day.
Yeah.
And not that it's not important to instill that in people, in our children and like our little brothers and sisters and stuff, but also you have to teach yourself. So maybe, you know what I mean? You can't blame a parent for not teaching you something that maybe they didn't know to teach you that.
Right.
I think they do the best they can with what they know how to do.
For sure. No, for sure.
At that time.
I feel like I learned more about, even now, like, it's just been a journey of healing for me for the past almost 2 years of healing my inner child wounds, healing, changing, just growing. And I feel like now I have hit a place with the quarantine, which has really kind of helped me. I've hit a place where I'm not working 1,000 jobs at one time. So I have downtime to really focus on myself and what I like to do, and I have really downtime to really focus on loving myself more or better, not giving from an empty well, which I do so often, you know what I'm saying, and not catering, which I do so often to, you know, people. And I'm now learning, like, if I can tell you, I just kind of learned how to say no without feeling bad.
I'm with you on that.
Like, people, I would have to say no to people, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And now I'm just like, no.
I mean, I still feel bad sometimes, but I feel that I explain myself. So when I start feeling, we don't have to explain ourselves to anyone. That's really, but when I start to feel guilty, I will start saying, well, look, you know, this is why, because I'm not prepared mentally to deal with someone else's mental maybe right now.
Right.
And you know how you are when you're hanging out with your friends, especially homegirls or whatever. They just, it's like an empty relationship if you don't put everything into it. So You know, I only go when I can put something into someone else. Like if I can't put anything into it, I'm not even gonna be happy or good to talk to. I might be snappy and moody. I'll be a whole nother person. I don't even know that bitch. Okay, I don't know that bitch. She needs a Snickers or something. But okay. So how are you guys practicing self-love then? You guys do affirmations? Do you meditate? What do y'all do to like work on yourselves? I just started writing.
For me, personally, I like to find a really, for me, okay, to be honest, for me, because I also have very bad anxiety, right? So for me, I watch like the same like TV shows and movies over and over again. I don't know why. I just do. I read somewhere that if you like people with bad anxiety like to watch the same thing because they know what's coming next, right? So they don't have any anxiety from watching it.
Oh, wow.
So I watch the same like shows and movies and shit all the time. So for me, I don't really even practice my self-love until the night. It's always at the end of my day, the end of my night. I sit, I light my candles. I will kind of pray over my altar, and then I'll just watch a TV show. Like I think right now it's One-on-One. I've been binging that. And then I'm probably going to go back and watch Grownish again. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen it. So like I don't watch a lot of movies. I just watch a lot of the same TV shows over and over.
But like comforting. That's comforting to you, right? So, okay. What do you do?
I have a morning ritual I do every morning. So I do self-Reiki, and I meditate. I do my affirmations, and I do morning messages where I write 3 pages each morning of whatever. I actually learned that from a book called The Artist's Way. It's like a 12-week course for artists and getting unblocked in different ways. Phenomenal book. I forgot the author. However, I realized that we have a choice on how we act and react, and a lot of times we put that blame on others when we react in a toxic way or a way that's unbecoming. And I realized like everything comes back to self. Like I have the power to act and react, and what am I doing to choose to act and react differently than the norm or what's expected from the Black woman.
Can't nobody get you out of character. That's what you're saying, or what?
So I won't say that I am 100% there, but I am way better at not allowing other people to have my power, because that's ultimately what it is. When someone can tick you off, you're giving them your power. They have the ability to have you go there, and you can be like, oh, they made me do this. No, you allowed yourself to do that.
Correct. You allowed them.
And so I realized with the self-love thing, it's like we want to love so bad, and we want love, but we can never accept love at its depth if we only know our love in a shallow way. And it's like, well, like I take myself out to eat too. Like I'll do that. Like I'll date myself now, and I'm like, well, I want a man to do this for me. I want him to do that, and I'm like, Crystal, you doing that for yourself? Like you can't keep wanting these things from people that you're not giving yourself.
Right.
So I'm just that's so where I'm at.
I'm about to shed a tear because I was just telling you I don't want to go out to eat by myself.
I do it all the time.
But okay.
What's yours?
I'm a motor mouth, so I need to practice a lot more self-love. I do take 10 minutes every morning in silence and just kind of feel like, and this I got from a sleep app, but it actually really, it brought me so much peace one night, and I've been doing it ever since. As I lay in the bed, kind of right in the middle, like a star, and I think about like the weight of my body and like any vibrations or feelings. I'll try to feel like where pains are in my body, that's something that doesn't feel good. If you pay attention, okay, I'm gonna just tell a secret. I did acid once or twice, and I tried it, but it really pinpointed things in my body that weren't right. Like if I had just sprained my knee.
Because it opens up a new portal in your brain to have you sensitive to the things that actually matter.
Okay, and I have been changed ever since.
And I just know that from research.
Yeah, no, I mean, honestly, my boy told me, like, he told me all about it first to make me feel so much more comfortable with it. And similar to mushrooms or whatever, I'm just saying, like, my personal experience, it taught me how to take that with me every day. So I take 10 minutes in the morning, and that's about all I do. I can say that is like in so much routine. I'm terrible with routine. I'm really bad with it. So that's something that I'm working on, is writing down my daily goals now. For the past 2 weeks, I've been writing down, like, what you want out of the end of this week, what you want out of the end of the day. Like, what can you accomplish for yourself, just for yourself, not for work, clean your car out or whatever, things like that I overlook when I'm not loving on myself enough, or laundry that's been sitting, organizing these fucking under my bed, whatever, shit that I've been putting off, reading a book. Because for some reason, I have not been wanting to read as much as I used to love reading. So I have to force myself to sit down and read. But I've been putting that on my checklist every day, too. So little things like that. But I that's why I'm happy to have you here, because I feel that you give off some kind of balance vibe. Like you said, you practice, like, your Reiki. And being blocked, your chakras being blocked, and like how to open that kind of stuff up. I'm trying to tap in.
Girl, this came from a divorce and 2 kids and being a single mother and having to learn, like, my life can be better, but I gotta make better choices and better decisions. And we make the decisions based off of what the information we're giving at the time, based how we're raised, based what we believe, religious wise or spiritual wise. But I've had to realize, like, no, Crystal, you're your own person. Relearn who you are and be okay with who you are. And I just want to be better, man. I just want to be loving light at this point in my life. And I have to exemplify that to myself in order to give that to others.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, but I think that what you guys are doing is great, too, because that exemplifies, too, everybody's self-love language to themselves is different. As long as you're giving yourself what you need, that in a healthy way, then it's like,
my self-love would be paying myself attention. I would think, like, taking time to think about yourself, right? First, sometimes, like, we go a mile a minute, especially when you have bills to pay and you have jobs and rules to follow and people to follow up with. Gosh, people expect a lot out of you.
Yeah. I try to do a little, so I was told by someone that I need to be more kind to myself. And it took me a minute to really digest it. So I have a lot of, like, negative self-talk, right? And it has nothing to do with my appearance. Despite earlier, I actually don't care about my appearance, as just I have insecurities. I think we all do. But I have a lot of negative self-talk about my character, and certain things about my character that I may want to change or even present differently, because they don't come from a place of malice, right? But you know what I'm saying? Delivery is key in anything that you do. So
that part.
Every day when I find myself going into that negative self-talk, then I always say, nope, Tony, you need to be kind to yourself. And I in that particular moment, I changed my mindset, because nobody wakes up angry. Nobody wakes up with a bad day. You think your day is going bad, therefore it does go bad. You create that negativity. You create that negative space, and then you take that with you wherever you go.
Boils down to choice. You have a choice.
Everybody has a choice every day.
Agreed. Now, let me say this.
Agreed 100%.
Y'all know I did a podcast with these boys for some years. I did the Puff podcast, and before we just only talked about Puff, we were talking about current events similar to what things that we sometimes talk about on here. Obviously, ours are tailored to female, because that's, kind of what I'm trying to present to you guys, is like a different view and a different type of dialogue between women. And a different platform where people of color who are women, and our men too, we love y'all too, who can come up here and share what you guys are good at, your talents, your beliefs, whatever the case. But on this podcast episode one time with these gentlemen, we talked about how they said that women wake up on an emotional roller coaster. And it smacked me in my face, because I've woken up emotional before. And I've also woken up like extremely happy, like or regular, like I wasn't thinking about emotions per se. I might be thinking about what I have planned for the day or whatever. They were basically like, men wake up and think about what they have to do for the day, and that's just how they task it out, and like simplistic. And I was saying, yes, women are more complex, but would you guys agree that you have like this decision to make when you wake up, like how you're gonna be? Because I just don't think men have the same problem. So that's what I think we're talking to our female audience, but we have a couple male listeners too, and I want to be clear when we say we're waking up and making choices on how we're gonna feel.
Well,
some men don't do that.
Well,
I
I
don't know
have
what
to
they
disagree.
do.
I disagree with that too.
Because all men are not the same.
Agreed.
Just like all women aren't, right? There are women who don't practice any of the things that we do at all on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like women are layered, men are not. We already know that. This is just a fact, right? But men also still have emotions, and it is up to the man, and how I feel it's up to the man and how evolved he is in his emotions to be able to allow that to convey. Because men suppress their emotions, they're taught to.
Yeah.
So I feel like once you have a man, or you experience a man who has started his healing journey or completed it or whatever. I don't think healing journeys ever stop. I think they always continue, right? But that's key. What I realize is that's key to realizing who's really working on them, like not even just work, but just in tune with themselves. Mm-hmm. I feel like if a man is able to convey his emotions in a good communicative way, he is actively doing the work.
100%. 100%.
But do you think that emotions are driving men the way that emotions drive women?
They don't.
I think that it boils down to emotional management. And I don't think that a lot of women don't have emotional management, and men don't either when it comes to suppression or repression. We're either imploding or exploding. Men normally implode. We explode. And so I think that's normally how it looks, but it goes back to what society has taught us and what society says. And society says that men can't have emotions or shouldn't. And you act this way.
Our black men.
Yes.
You know,
and then women are, and us black women, you're so emotional, or you have attitudes, and it's like, where did that's a stigma that was put on us.
Yeah, it's a fight.
That's not a reality.
It's not, and I feel like
and it doesn't have to be.
I feel like
I think that, hold on, she hit the nail on the head with the management, emotional management. I feel like I try to manage my emotions so much because I think that people do think that about women, that we are irrational because we're emotional, and you can be emotional and manage that shit. You can be in tune with your emotions and not explode.
So
if that makes sense.
It does. And I say this, so this is, y'all have known me for a year.
Girl,
so
yes.
You know that the Tony that the Tony that's sitting on this couch is probably not the same one throughout the years. So
management, honey.
I have been in dating someone, and it was consistently driven along me coming off of all of my past traumas and stuff, right? Trying to figure out what the fuck's going on, right? Because all these years I was told, you're a problem. This is all where all the negative self-love comes from, right? So I had a person tell me that I needed to learn to manage my emotions properly. But it was drilled, almost hammered into every single thing, no matter what I did, right? And it became apparent to me, not as quick as I wanted it to become, that this same particular person, after I had figured my shit out, I feel like, or figured it out better, this particular person is having a problem with the same exact thing. And because the emotions are not being managed on that end, the information of managing your own emotions can't be received. it's not received in the same way it was received when it was given to me.
Right.
Because it was already noted that there was a problem. However, because I just went through the same thing you are going to have to go through to be in any type of anything with anyone, I realized, oh, we got a pot calling the kettle black situation instead of the kettle don't know it's black.
Woo. Woo.
So I understand, I guess, both sides of the coin, but I do think that men are not emotional because they don't manage their emotions at all. They're essentially always on low or off.
Yeah.
I think they run on low naturally, but I do think that they will turn that shit off and have been taught to. I agree with that. My point in saying that was that I feel that, and that just led us right into, I think emotional management is a part of self-love and self-care, because your emotions may get the best of who? You. Like, I mean, yeah, it might make other people assume things or feel things about you, but really those emotions are affecting your state of mind, your anxiety, your health. I mean, your thoughts and everything are just as powerful as the things you say, I feel. So,
yeah, because it starts with a thought, and then you speak that thought. So it's all connected. So connected.
Yeah, it can make you sick sometimes. You think like really toxic things or sick things or whatever. Like,
I think that a lot of diseases come from dis-ease when you are emotionally distraught or you're not handling certain traumas. And granted, we don't always know how to handle certain things.
Yeah.
But the dis-ease your body feels is from a dis-ease like that you have.
That's so good.
We have the power to heal ourselves.
So we follow this girl called the Hood Healer.
I follow her too. Yeah.
So Hood Healer said the same thing, right? She said something similar. Well, I don't know if you guys see that. She said something similar, right?
Okay.
This came across my phone as a bite of a clip of one of her lives. Basically, they were calling her homophobic and anti, all the things, right? The interesting part is that I watched the entirety of that live. So I knew that they pulled only the
2 seconds.
The 2 seconds that sounded poor. In actuality, her assistant is a gay white man. So what are we talking about? You feel me? So, but she basically said the same thing. She said, people, you don't just wake up, what's the fucking depressed. You don't just wake up depressed. You create that within yourself.
We do create.
You're not.
Yeah.
You're not. You know what I'm saying? Your energy, your inner you, is disoriented, and you create those particular diseases. So she was basically saying the same thing that you said.
Because it goes back to the self-talk, like you said. How often, you guys? And this is just an example where you find a guy and you're like, man, he's so cute, but maybe, man, something probably wrong with him. What's wrong with him? Something. This ain't gonna work. That is negative self-talk in itself.
Yes.
I ain't saying to be over optimistic where you're like, oh, it can work and it's everything, but no, just be in the moment and enjoy it for what it is in that moment. But we go on this storytelling tangent that's negative as fuck, and then we wonder why we feel the way we feel all the time.
We making ourselves feel that way.
Yes.
I agree. I do that. I honestly, I was just saying off camera, like, damn, ain't no men around here, da 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 da. But also, I need to stop speaking that stuff too. I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying, and I catch myself all the time. So of course, nobody's perfect, but it's all about like practicing, right? Practicing every day about what it is you want out of life, and literally manifest it. Speak it, work towards it, research it, study it.
Manifesting has been a big part of my life. Like when I tell you, I dove deep into my inner self, and pulled out all types of things, right? And manifesting has been, I manifested this apartment we in.
Yes, you
because I did not have it.
And speaking of manifesting, it is 11/11 today, guys. 11/11.
It sure is.
I have 11/11 tatted on me, you guys. It's a lifeline. I love it. It's very important to me. The numbers mean something, and I feel like when you guys are catching 444 and you're catching 222,
111, 555, 333,
all of your special numbers, sevens are lucky. Like, you guys should be paying attention to that. and manifesting. Seriously.
They're a message from spirit, from God, whatever you choose to call it. They're your angels, your spirit guides. Even if you just acknowledge the numbers and be like, all right, I'm protected. All right, I'm good. Or something
That's
good
more
will happen
manifestation. Literally, you're manifesting protection by just believing. And this is what drives me nuts is that a lot of people like been out on my neck or online kind of just going in, and it's usually men, sorry, that are like against zodiac, right? And to me, or against, and I get it, the cheesy part of the horoscope thing, I get.
There's a balance to it. That's what it is. It's a balance. It's not like you worship the zodiac. There's a balance to it. It is a necessary resource or tool, just like certain medicines or certain music just is therapeutic. Or certain practices, whether it's yoga or meditation.
I think it's a form of therapy. You know what I'm saying?
Or even working out.
Like, I mean, it can be. Yeah, I do agree.
So it's all.
I wish working out was what you call it,
a form of therapy.
We're gonna try to get into it this year. The rest of this year ain't over.
I think, but I think also because I have to. I'm gonna say this probably a lot. If we, I feel like the zodiac also is a lot about the inner beings of who you are. And men, again, we're gonna go back to this. Most men do not manage their emotions, and so they don't want to confront you're a Scorpio, you don't want to confront, men aren't going to confront the fact that they love hard, things of that nature with women. They don't want to confront those inner emotions because it makes them feel away. It makes them feel
something.
That's what it is.
And that boils back down to self-love, though.
Correct.
Because you have to feel, just how you feel bliss and euphoria, you have to feel sadness and you have to feel hurt. Like, you have to. In order to experience your greatest depth of love, you have to experience your greatest depth of pain.
Correct.
And we don't want to feel. That's what's wrong with a society.
Men don't want to feel.
Men don't want to feel, but women don't want to feel either. We suppress a lot.
I suppress pain a lot,
and we hold on to it. It goes back to releasing too, because it's not self-love to hold on to pain.
Yeah,
it's not. When you burn yourself on the stove, you yank back. And it's like, I don't want to feel that. But as soon as we get a heartbreak, it's like we crying all day, every day, which we need to release. But then we're listening to sad songs all the time, and then we're like
egging it
on.
And
then we talking to our girlfriend every night, girl, cause this and that, and you just constantly are keeping that pain. And it's like, no, feel the pain, talk about it, but stop holding on to it. It's like you walk around with it like it's a part of you. It doesn't have to be a part of you.
But it does. You do need to go through it.
Yes.
And that's something that I sometimes will not do. Yeah, I will just. You're never gonna
get through it. You're never going to get to the other side if you don't feel through it. I had to tell one of my male friends, you have to feel through what you're going through, or you'll never get over it. You'll never essentially release it.
You won't.
It's the same way.
That's what causes dis-ease, and we don't understand it 15 years from now when we're going through certain dis-eases in our bodies, and it's like, nah, because 15 years ago you went through this and you still holding on to it. That trauma that you don't realize is still lingering within your body.
Yeah, and how you treat yourself because of that. So, not handling pain. I mean, we know what it's called, having vices or whatever the case, where you don't take care of yourself then because you're using something else to substitute, right? So that's something that I have to really work on. I do think that, I can relate to how men move a little bit. It just seems so easy. I think I literally over time started telling myself, well, I'm a little bit more like that than I am like a lot of women that I'm around, because women are, to me, not managing emotions at all sometimes, the women that I may be around. And there's a balance. You don't want to manage out where you don't, damn this microphone. You don't want to manage out where you don't have it at all. But there's a happy medium in dwelling as well. So, my thing is, I associate, and I guess I shouldn't, I associate not dwelling on the pain with more of a masculine trait.
So I will say one of my affirmations is I balance my masculine, feminine energy equally, because that's what it is. We are either overcompensating our masculine energy or our feminine energy. and we need to balance both. They're both necessary.
Yeah.
They're both necessary for men and women.
Yeah.
And we don't realize how much we can learn from each other as women, or even as men, where we can come in and really usher how that balance can be or look. But it all boils back down to balance.
And that's also something, managing my masculine and feminine is also something I'm learning now, especially in the workplace, because I present more masculine.
The hardcore, that exterior.
I'm an
Alpha female.
So I present that, and also I want to just take this point. A lot of people, a lot of men in particular, feel like alpha females are like not good partners, and they just won't ever be good partners because independent type of thing, right? That's not the case. I just also want to debunk that myth. That's not the case, because as an alpha female, I am actually very submissive. You have to be a certain type of man, period. That's the case.
But I will say this though. What do y'all think in regards to, because I think it's fine to be an alpha female. I've been one all my life. I'm really getting to the point where I don't even want to call myself an alpha female, because I'm finding this feminine energy in me a lot more pleasant in a way. But
it's a level. I think once women hit that where you're at, that's a level. They done level up.
Yeah. But it goes to, it's like, as an alpha female, you need an alpha man. But an alpha man gonna get tired of keep dealing with the alpha female if she doesn't come to a place where he don't feel like he always gotta
it shouldn't be this.
Right. But that's where I think alpha females, I think that's where that idealism that's out there comes from. Alpha females who have not realized or recognized that there is even a balance to figure out.
Okay.
Right? When you don't even know something is there, how could you even begin to fix it? You have to open up and realize that this is here.
I agree.
Boom.
I don't think these niggas wifing shit anyways out here, so whatever,
Also, niggas is not looking
to wife nothing out here right now, and that's okay, because I wouldn't consider myself to be a more alpha female. I don't think that I let the alpha female in the group be the alpha female every time. Like, if it's a group of us, I'm gonna let the alpha do the alpha. Yeah. So I wouldn't consider myself alpha. I could always take that on, I think, but more so, it does not matter if you are alpha. I do think it matters to find your finesse and how you deal with your partner, right? If you're an alpha, I'm aggressive. I can be aggressive on the surface level of things, but on an intimate level, or behind in our home, living with a partner, I feel like I'm naturally more submissive. I want a man to be in control, so I'm not gonna sit here and bicker and nitpick with you like I would do in my everyday work or my whatever. But I don't think they give a shit. That's my point. I don't think these niggas give a shit, girl. Amen. Crazy.
Alpha female.
I don't think so.
They don't give a shit. Okay, they want some kind of damn. They want this. I don't know what they want, girl.
I have. After
this
last go round, child, I'm gonna stop trying to. I'm at the point where I'm not even gonna try to figure it out. Let me just focus on me.
That's where I'm at.
That's exactly where I'm at.
I'm not even gonna waste, because we was talking about self-love, right?
Yes.
That's a form of self-love for me. Not even trying to figure that shit out.
I be checking myself, Crystal. Why are you worried about this? This is outside of you. This is not nothing to do with you. Leave this alone. This ain't none of your business.
It's
not none of my business.
Let spirit handle it.
Y'all don't like putting your feet on somebody's feet at night? I miss putting my feet on somebody's feet.
Oh, hold on. If we talking about companionship,
no, hold on.
We're
not saying it's not necessary.
I want companionship.
We as humans, we need it.
But you're fine. I'm just not in a place where I'm like, where is he at anymore? I'm just like, because when you start doing the work for real and you start focusing on yourself, what you want's going to come to you.
They keep saying that, and you know what? I'm going to just chill and keep my head down.
You attract what you need.
You attract what you...
my
horoscope, what you believe.
That's true.
My horoscope recently told me choose between, right now, your choice was between your career and your love. But there is no love.
I don't think so. It goes back to balance, because I think that you don't have to choose between the two. You can have both if you believe that you can have both.
I do believe it, but I also believe that maybe that horoscope was trying to tell me to focus on yourself, your finances, get your shit where you want it. where your goals are.
Because
and
he gonna
that'll
come. Yeah, he
that'll
gonna
come.
Yeah.
That's what I took from it.
Okay.
But
I
damn,
agree
you know
with
what
that.
I'm saying? Goddamn.
I agree with that.
Goddamn, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
A nigga want a baby. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be 32 in February. I really don't have a baby. That's something that's on my mind. It's a natural clock. I feel like that's ticking. So, you know, it's fine. Just,
Do
you know,
you
I'm
feel
not
like
no
you have to
pressure.
have that by a certain time? Or is that more of a societal thing?
My mother had my sister when she was 40. My sister's about to turn 18 in December. It's been a fucking, like, damn, my mama probably could have used a little break. But she had me first and then had my sister, so maybe that's why she was more tired. And I haven't had a child yet, so having a child at an older age is something that I would totally welcome if that's what it was for me. But I have seen my mama struggle, and so I just feel like, you know, shit, by the time the baby 18, you
But
out.
you also don't have to take on someone else's struggle as your own.
That's true. Ooh, Chris.
So, and I was just, because I know I have a 7-year-old and a soon to be 15-year-old.
Hey.
Yes.
And for me, I've been raising a child since I got pregnant at 16, had him 17. So for me, I've been raising a child all my life. I am in a place where I'm okay with not having kids, any more kids. At one point, I would say, hell no, I'm not having no more. Now I'm in a place where I'm like, if it's in the cards, it's in the cards. But I'm not looking to just have another baby.
Yeah.
But I also believe that for me being older, I have more patience, and I'm living my life now. So if that time were to come again, it's like, nah, my life being lived. I'm living it right now.
Yeah.
So I think though that your baby gonna come, but also just remember, don't take on the struggles of other people, because that doesn't have to be your
That's true.
That's
true.
destiny.
I do not feel you, sis. I do not have any want, need. I'm not interested. I do not want to be pregnant. I do not want to physically have a child.
I'm very nervous about
Not right
that.
now. I do not desire to be pregnant within the next 6 years. So
Hey, I mean, hey.
that's where I'm at. But also, our situations are different. Just like Crystal said, you know what I'm saying? She got pregnant at 16. She been raising her child. She been raising the child all her life.
Yeah.
My sister got pregnant. My sister is about 3 to 4 years older than me. My sister got pregnant with my niece at 23.
No, my
And
mama,
we
I
done
was
lived
14 when she had my sister.
I don't desire having a baby in my home. Okay, I just had two little my cousin and my sister, they both have sons and they're like a year apart. They were both in here on Halloween driving me nuts. I don't have a child-friendly home. I got glass every damn where. They banging on the glass. Listen, I don't desire it. I don't. Now my niece is a preteen and she moody.
I desire it, and I used
Just
to
keep
not.
hitting
I
them
used
all.
to be comfortable. Like, okay, well, who knows if I'm gonna want children? It hasn't happened for me. I was in a horrible relationship, and thank the Lord, like that's not what came out of that. So I can say maybe it's not in my cards, maybe it is, but more so than ever, like Crystal said, I'm a little bit more mature. I'm more patient. I feel I'm ready. If it was gonna happen. If it is gonna happen, you know, I'm ready. Just putting that out there.
I desire. I know Crystal said it earlier too. Like, don't take other people's struggles on as your own.
Yeah.
But I also do that when it comes in terms of kids. You know, I've seen a lot of people in my particular family struggle with children, struggle with the fathers of their children, and I personally don't ever want I don't want my child to kind of grow up like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to have that tumultuous. I mean, ultimately, just because I'm a different person, I probably won't.
And I'm about to say, and the beautiful thing about it is you have a choice to change that. Right? And you're in a mature self-love space.
Yeah.
And it's like you're going to be conscious about the decisions you make if it comes to you having a child and what you're going to do and how you're going to do it and go about it.
Right.
So it's the same for you.
I know.
You're in a conscious place.
I mean, I think the hardest part is finding somebody that I feel comfortable in, like, us combining.
Mm-hmm. That partnership.
Yeah,
that
that's
authentic
important.
partnership.
Yeah.
Versus that love ship.
And what we create, like, what do you have? What do you have in your history that you finna give to my baby? You know what I'm saying? I want to know. You know what I mean? Like, your people's crazy. They straight. I don't know. I just be a little bit nervous that all that's left. I'm not even gonna say it, y'all. We're gonna talk about manifesting. I ain't gonna say it. But you never know.
There
man.
are amazing things in this world.
Yeah.
Beautiful things. And there are
Right.
things for us.
Right.
If we believe it's for us.
Well, is my nigga hide under a rock? Wake up, boo.
He
Come
might
save
be.
me.
He gonna wake up soon.
He coming,
So
girl.
we believe in that. We believe in that.
Yeah,
I'm
you
believing
gotta
that for
hold in the faith. He's coming. Just release the need to control and let spirit
Let
guide
it
you.
go,
Mhm.
honey. I ain't gonna stop talking about it, all right?
You. Yeah, we
Now-
got control issues. That's one thing about it. We
Yeah.
want to control everything.
That's
Not
that's what
realizing
I'm
that-
like. That's where I'm at now in my journey is learning how to release control.
Yeah, I
What's
am
your
with you
sign?
because we ultimately don't have control like we think we do. It's an illusion. But I'm a
Very
Taurus.
true. Oh,
Yeah.
a Taurus. I don't know that many women Tauruses.
Child,
I'm only one.
my niece and my nephew are Tauruses.
Yeah, we're considered very stubborn and very bold in different ways.
Yeah, okay.
I would like to say that I've conquered my stubbornness in a manageable way.
That's beautiful.
I hope so.
I love that. Okay. All right, Taurus.
What day is your birthday?
April 28th.
Oh, you.
April
I'm an April Taurus.
You right behind Aries.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's another stubborn. That's another real
Yeah, they're
fiery
stubborn.
sign. Hey, they run hot all.
Is Taurus fire too?
It's Earth.
No, it's Earth.
Or
Yeah,
like
Aries is-
Capricorn.
Yeah,
Capricorn is Earth too.
I think Virgo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
You have any?
That
You know
makes
your
sense.
placements?
In terms of my sun rising.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm a Capricorn's moon. Capricorn moon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, double earthy.
And I'm Virgo somewhere. I'm Virgo and Capricorn.
You're all Earth.
That makes so
I got
sense.
My
That
phone
makes-
over there. I must say my
co-star.
my yeah.
What? That's what's up. Y'all
We
got
got blue
co-star or
co-star,
pattern?
girl.
Okay, because I got pattern.
Oh, girl, I got co-star, but we gotta bleep this shit out. No free promo.
Alright, no free promo, no free promo.
My birth chart. That's what I was trying
Oh,
to think of.
yeah.
So my birth chart.
Yeah, I am a Libra sun. I'm a Gemini rising, and I am a Virgo moon.
I don't remember mine. So I know I'm a Capricorn in there somewhere. So I got a little earth and air. I might got Cancer in me too, so water.
That makes sense. Emotional.
What a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
Emotionally stubborn, maybe.
Deep down
I'm
within.
fucked. Yeah, no, we working on it though. Okay, so how are we living right now? We talked about how we're living right now during these times. There is a pandemic still going on.
Yes.
We mentioned earlier off camera about Maryland going back and regressing into a phase 2. So you guys know we're here in the DMV. We're in Virginia right now, but yeah, Maryland's supposed to be going into phase 2 first tomorrow. And then, people are just speculating that Virginia will be closely following behind. But with the election, with everything that has just transpired, let's chat about it.
Oh, well, I've been waiting.
Girl.
This is a hot one. This is a hot one. All right, so look.
Lordy.
I don't think Virginia's regressing back because the governor said he wasn't regressing, right? He said he was not going to take us, at least not all the way back to phase 1, right? But what I do think is we had an election, we dumped Trump's ass.
Dumped your ass.
Thank goodness. You have to go. Kamala Harris made history.
Woo! Let's give her a round of applause here.
Absolutely.
At
For
unFEMiliar.
sure. Kamala
Okay.
Harris made history. First woman vice, first black woman vice. First black
That's
woman
the thing.
vice,
That's
period.
the thing. That's the thing.
It's
That's
That
the thing.
is a thing.
It's good for our folks, man. That's very good.
It is something to be celebrated and honored no matter which side of the fence you're on when it comes to politics, okay?
Very true.
Biden was elected. Now, when it comes to phases and regression, Biden has actively said, if you were paying attention, watching the debates, he was taking us back into a quarantine if we cannot get the numbers under control. Texas has surpassed 1 million cases of coronavirus today. So we are not getting this under control. Atlanta is open.
They've been open.
Whoa.
But I do have a question though.
Helena got
What does control look like? Because we can regress, digress, whatever you want to call it, all we want. But when things open back up, it's still going to be here.
That's
and
what
it's
he's
going
saying.
to, the numbers are going to get larger. They're going to be large again. So we're just going to quarantine forever. Like what?
Until a vaccine is what they're saying. Then they're going to probably government mandate that because people are going to refuse the vac. Right?
But that goes into a lot of legal things. Because you can't force someone to get a vaccine.
There was a lot of things I thought you couldn't do here. There's a lot of things that I am realizing there are loopholes in these things. Very, very many.
They're definitely gonna make it. If they do a vaccine, they're gonna make it so the children are gonna have to do a vaccine to get into schools. And
there are ways.
But even now, though, there are people that don't get their kids vaccinated at all, and they don't have to be vaccinated.
They can't start school until it's for a certain age if you're not vaccinated.
There's still loopholes about that.
In most counties, because you can always homeschool, get a tutor. Tutors, you know what I'm saying, can come in your home if they don't care. You know, it's different ways to do it. But I think this 2020 is a weird place. Period. But I think this election shit that we are living through as adults is going to be similar to what our parents talk about when they talk about Nixon, Reagan era, when they talk about even fucking Bush versus Al Gore. That fucking election was crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is going to be this is going to be in the history books. That's a fact. They're saying this is the only American president has not conceded after they have lost the popular and the electoral vote. So what I didn't know, and this is why I say there's a lot of loopholes for everything. Van Jones made a TED video a little while ago, basically saying, did you know that did you know that even though a president gets voted in at the presidency by the electoral college, they can still not become the president, right? Sorry. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was a thing, right? So
drag Trump ass out of there. I feel like he's gonna try to stay.
Well, he is, because this particular constitutional law states that if the sitting American president does not concede by January 1st, despite the electoral votes, despite the popular vote, the vote then goes to the Senate, Congress. Right now.
So, question: would that boil back down to the votes not mattering?
Correct.
But they told me my vote counted.
I'm a very big conspiracy theorist, so I'm not gonna get into that. But just in general,
we are gonna get into it because she got some tea. Look. At that point, then you're right? The votes don't matter, right?
You gonna tell me after telling me my vote counted? My mama dragged me up there.
I never believed my ass. See, I never believed they did. So we don't have a say in a lot, but we have a say in who the president's gonna be. Like, we actually have a say in it matters, or is it more of a mind fuck to make you believe?
So I think. Let me finish this shit first, and then I'm gonna get into this, okay? Because y'all taxing me right here. Okay, look now.
Come on here with
if they don't concede by the 1st of January, it goes into, or by January, he didn't actually specify the day, it goes into a different election, right? Where the Senate votes on the president, and it is the Senate votes who decide who is the president, right? This is an extreme case. Because we are on our 46th president in January, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And this has never fucking happened. Ever.
Are we really to our 46th president or not? Because from the sound of your newly released information, we only have 45 so far. We have now celebrated our projected presidential-elect.
And that is a president-elect. And that is why it's not a president after unless it's an elect. Because guess what? We have to make sure all of the rules are followed. If we get this, with it, when I break it down in my mind, it sounds like a tiebreaker for the tiebreaker. Because I feel like that's what the electoral college is. Like,
Y'all was the tiebreaker. Now we need a tiebreaker for the tiebreaker.
This is the tiebreaker. The
I see what
Senate
you
is
did
the tiebreaker to the tiebreaker. So I feel
Oh.
like at that point, once we get, this has never happened. I guess whatever white man wrote this in the Constitution was like, hey, this.
Well, if that
this
did
might-
ever happen,
people, yeah, I mean, not
So-
everybody's gonna be happy to go. And I guess this was the best fucking idea. I don't
how is it that
understand.
we can remove people out their own home, but we can't remove this nigga out the White House? How can he just decide he gonna stay? That's what you're saying he can do?
So that's why I'm just trying to practice love, light, and peace, because I realize it just boils back down to me and how we act as a culture. Yeah, and as individuals.
Yeah.
Like, what can we do?
I do
You know what I mean?
think I think for me, I feel like that a lot. What can I really do, right? I also am a person who really believes in what I believe in, and I will stand up for it to the day's end, right?
Yes.
I'm never gonna be the person who doesn't go vote because I feel like there are people who did not live as good as a life as I have, and all they wanted was to be equal. They didn't even want a different situation. They just wanted to be looked at not like an animal, right? And I feel like I owe it to those people who were in bondage and spat at, things of that nature, to do that. They went through that, so just so that I could one day be able to do the shit that I, you know what I'm saying? So I think regardless of how I feel about whatever politics, I'ma still just go exercise my right because, you know what I'm saying, people
Because you
sacrifice for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and then it's not even like, you know what I'm saying, people sacrifice for that right that I probably at some point in my life won't care about. But guess what? I'm just gonna, out of respect, just do it anyway.
So could it also be looked at, though, as exercising your right of choice?
Yeah, it could absolutely. I don't think that it's wrong. Whatever you choose to do, I'm very pro-choice, right? So I feel this way with abortion as well. If that's your choice, that's your choice.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you choose not to vote, that's your choice. That doesn't mean that I'm in agreement with that and
Right,
that I
right.
would do that for myself.
Right.
But it's not up to me to judge what you do
Or
in your
not.
life
Yeah.
at all. All I can say is, okay, I would do something different. But if you ask, also it's not. Don't be giving us. Y'all gotta stop giving these unsolicited opinions. People don't care
They don't.
about your. So if they don't ask, don't give.
They
Don't overshare.
For serious.
Okay, we good.
For serious.
So you know what I'm saying. If it's a situation, I'm talking to somebody like, well, I'm not voting. Oh, okay.
I mean, but it wasn't
'Cause
like that. Honestly, this year was the most aggressive year
No, they
to be indecisive publicly in any way about your decision, like if you're gonna exercise your right to vote. I really could not tell you what I was going to do up until that morning, and I kept telling my mom. I told her all my conspiracy thoughts one night. We were watching the debate, and when it went off, she was just so mad about it. I'm like, Ma, you really don't think that all these people are in bed together? You think one's better than the other? I asked her that in seriousness because I don't think that there is one better than the other. I just have my thoughts on, them all being on the same team, and she just was so sick. She just could not even stand the thought of me telling her that like everything she thinks is real. Or we watched the Epstein documentary. That
was
blew her
crazy.
mind. That blew her
That
mind.
was
Epstein was
She's a
crazy.
news watching, you know what I mean? Like, she's tuned into whatever Fox has to say.
And
You know what I mean?
It's crazy because it goes back to even with Epstein. How long was that going on?
Right.
And how long was that allowed?
He essentially made it was a prostitution, it was like a prostitution like scam. It was like those Herbalife people, but for prostitution.
Yeah.
He made a prostitution ring like that, a pyramid scheme. He made a pyramid scheme prostitution. And I think that is the most craziest. How disgustingly bugged out do you have to be to even fucking think? Hey, I want to build a pyramid scheme.
No bullshit.
But then there's
prostituting young
people
girls.
supporting it and doing it and knowing that it's happening. It's like,
I mean, okay. One.
All money ain't good money. Then look,
it ain't every opportunity for you. So that part.
just because your friends do it don't mean you got to do it.
Well, now we've also seen how many people were supposed to have been at that island. too. I mean, all that information dropped as well. Some of our favorites. I'm not.
But you know, a lot of the information and documents got destroyed. You know,
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly.
Oh yeah, after he was committed suicide, right, or whatever. Damn. The thing is, Epstein. There was an episode of Law and Order from season like 10
Mm-hmm.
about that man. You know how they'll do it. They won't make it about that person.
Yeah, they'll make it like adjacent.
Just exactly the same. Okay, they've done one for Ray Lewis. They've done one for Rihanna and Chris Brown, and they did one for Epstein, and that was over 10 years ago that they did that episode. So he's been out here, and people have been knowing what he's doing for a long time. Same with our man's R. Kelly.
Yeah.
People been knowing what he was doing for a very long time. I'm not gonna lie though. Does Bill Cosby rub y'all the wrong way in any way? Or like, how do y'all feel about that? Seeing his mugshots and shit.
That pisses me off because black people always get put in the trenches, and it's like I don't never see the same shit happen to the white people.
Never.
Ever.
I feel like that was less about what he actually did and more about the fact that he was about to buy NBC. We want to talk about conspiracy theories. I think that's what that was. And I'm not, again, and this is not, and I have to reiterate this because sometimes people hear what they want to hear, right?
Right.
So allow me to give you some clarity. That does not mean that justifies or that I condone the behavior.
Not at all. Yeah, not
for
in any
which
way.
he was held accountable for.
Not at all.
What that means is they did not care about what he did until they saw a black man bossing the fuck up and about to sit at their seat. Then they tore him the fuck down, as they usually do to us. That's what that means.
Yeah.
And I just feel like that makes a very great impact on me, and it shows me exactly the world that I live in. Not that his actions do not, but that his actions are something that I see on TV. There's something that's, people write movies about it. I know that they're there.
It's like it's okay for those actions for some people, but then when other people do it, it's not. And it's like, hey, we're gonna bury you. We're gonna fucking bury you and demolish you in every way, shape, or form. And that's where it's like,
And that's how you can see how they do it too, folks of color.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, good. I'm so happy that Biden's been elected so that he can fix all of these fucked up ass problems.
Or at least attempt to in some way,
I mean,
I'm
nobody
hopeful.
fixes all of them. Nobody ever fixes all of them. They try to make them better, but I do feel like with Trump in office, we were just going to get better, just general human rights taken away from people. And I just feel like, despite which side of the candlestick you stand on, I think we all can agree that Trump's a shit as human as he has proven us. He's proven that. He's not a great person. Just period. Like, I was watching something on Fox News and there was wasn't a Trump supporter, he was a Republican, and Chris Cuomo asked him, do you think the president's a racist? Said he didn't know. Said, would you support President Trump if he was a racist? He said, well, it depends. And Cuomo said, what do you mean it depends? It depends. You just said you wouldn't support a racist president, but now it depends. Earlier he said he wouldn't support a racist. He said, now it depends if Trump is racist or not, because it depends if he's Republican racist versus a Democratic racist. Like, and it's people are very fickle.
People are very fickle because people don't know what they want or really believe in. It's, I don't believe in this until someone I know does. And so it's like, oh, well, no, I don't support racism. But if Trump does, then yeah, I do it then. It's like, what? What? Huh?
Bunch of followers. That's what we're talking about. Being authentic. There we go. Being authentic, being yourself, like setting your own tone. I mean, in politics, we're beyond that at this point. It's all show. It's all for show. So, I mean, the better of the two won. And I went out and voted because I felt bullied. I'm not even going to lie. I felt bullied into voting this year. I had Karens and Kims and Kens and Charles and all kinds of motherfuckers from states all over.
Texting you.
Please, which way are you gonna vote? Which way are you gonna vote? Like, y'all just have to know what I'm gonna do. Even to the point when we got to the polls to vote, and you know they stand outside, and there's Republicans and there's Democrats, and they're on the blue paper and they're on the little red paper, and they'll say to you, "Hey, what are you voting?" And here go my mama all gung-ho. We vote Democrat. You just trying to snub the Republicans. But I don't want anybody to know when I'm fucking voting. I didn't even barely want to be here. None of your damn business. Give me both papers. So I can throw y'all off. Because up until my vote is counted, y'all don't need to know what the fuck I'm doing.
I love that, though. I love that. It's necessary.
Yeah, it is.
Like,
I'm a person who votes in every type of election. Republican. I do vote in Republican elections.
good for you.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
I vote for the person.
And if anybody thinks there is, then
I vote for the
yourself.
person who's least likely to do a good job or do anything well. So I vote for the person who usually loses.
So you have heart. You have heart and you believe in what you believe in. See, that's what I'm talking
So
about.
I
That's
vote for them
authenticity.
because
Authenticity.
I
She
need
is.
my shit to go
Authentic.
a certain way. I need my Democrat to trump your weakest Republican and your strongest.
Smart.
So
You
that's
playing
why
chess, baby.
I know a lot of people don't vote in a Republican election. So
Well, hopefully it was Trump's fault that Netflix was going up in price, and I hope that now that Biden is the president-elect, that they will come back down, because Netflix said they was raising the price, y'all.
what?
Something higher, and I'm already paying it down. It's a damn lick, okay?
Yeah,
I'm paying a
I'm on
lick.
that family plan, so I'm already paying now. Okay, for the whole family.
Nigga, the other night I went on my Netflix and I got kicked off my own Netflix. I was like, oh hell no, everybody's password this password
I'm
getting
about to say
changed.
change
Is
password.
everybody
Yeah,
else
they're gonna
is
be
not
fucked
like
up.
$11?
I think it's like, well, I think mine's 14. something.
Yeah, I think I paid $15 for a family
Yeah.
plan.
Yeah.
Oh, mine just went from like 8 to 11 like last month.
Okay.
But for individual, right? Just for you.
It's
everybody.
mad people on my job.
I wasn't paying for a minute though, cause I done switched the password, and then my card expired, and I never updated. But it was a few months before they realized.
Mine
Oh,
was
yeah.
$11.99, but now
it's
not.
like 15. I think it's like $14.95.
If it go up over 15 is my point,
I'm
like,
gonna
which I
cancel mine, 'cause I
do.
got we're gonna just have to.
Because Put Locker, streaming sites, fuck y'all talking about Vidbull.
Okay.
I'm gonna put y'all on game on Unfamiliar.
Make sure y'all got y'all fire sticks, y'all. That's what y'all gonna need. Now.
But the fire stick. Shout out to the fire stick. I love bootleg stuff. Yo.
I'm
Can I
weak.
agree with that?
I'm
Can I
weak.
agree with that?
I'm a weak.
I don't like all stuff bootleg, but the stuff that I like that's bootleg is appreciated. I have not paid for cable in probably 4 or 5 years.
Yeah,
I've been
I won't ever
I've
get
been
cable
streaming.
again.
I'm a
Me
streamer.
either. When they say 100 something, what? For what? I don't even watch TV for real.
First of
So-
all, I just told y'all I watch the same shit. I could buy them joints in seasons and still be under the cost.
Yeah.
I'm fucking cable. Fuck that
Make
shit.
yourself happy.
Okay, let me just buy. Let me get the mall, and that's not 20. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna just spend $80 at once and just watch my same shit over again. No, my internet on $10.
But
Ooh, how you do that?
I'm gonna tell you, girl. I'm gonna put you on a finesse.
Okay.
That was a finesse. Finesse queen.
Okay.
Okay. Got to keep. I like my coin in my bank account where I can see it.
Yep. Touch it, you know what I'm saying? Transfer it.
Because
Turn
clearly
it
I'm gonna
into
need it
Bitcoin.
soon. So.
Okay.
But no. So what else happened this week? There was a shooting, right? Chicago.
Yeah. King Von was I think he's from Chicago.
He was from Chicago. Okay.
Yeah, but he was in Atlanta at a hookah lounge. And some other young rapper named Quando Rondo is the accused shooter. I think
Quando.
King Von was
I've
21.
seen something about Quando Rondo and them Young Dolph.
Yeah, there's a lot
Or
of
something.
people are mad at him because
Or Lil Durk. It was Lil Durk.
yeah.
I like Lil Durk.
Lil Durk
Lil
bought
Durk
out
is
all the
friends with
seats.
King Von, and like he brought him onto the
Oh.
Breakfast Club. He's the one before he was even famous. Lil Durk's been bringing him around. You know, they both from Chicago.
Yeah, they were from Chicago. Yeah.
And King Von was like he had just dropped an album this last week.
Okay.
And
familiar
so
with it.
yeah, I don't know. I'm not that familiar with it either, but I know that he was just upcoming. I saw him on Lip Service with Angela Yee and
Nice.
them. Just young, smart, and but just still in the hood, and I feel like sometimes you gotta let that shit go, man. I don't know. The energy of carrying guns, it really holds weight. Like, there's a certain kind of static I feel like you bring with you.
Oh, it is a certain energy when you feel like you on edge every 2 seconds all the time and having to always look over your shoulder. That is not a life to live.
That is not living.
That's
Yeah.
not.
It's really sad. And these young boys be 21. Even like someone like 21 Savage, who's from Atlanta. If you listen to his music, man, these little niggas have been killing each other or talking about it at least. I don't know if all that shit is real, but if it is real, y'all been killing each other since y'all was like 16 years old.
Right.
I mean, you're losing friends and family left and right due to killing each other. It's really insane. I'm disappointed in the younger
And that boils
boys.
back down to emotional management and self-love. It all boils back down to self-love and emotional management of self.
I've been in a few situations where I've been with men who have had their guns with them or had to pull it up out of the front seat for various reasons, and I've been in a situation where I've watched a close family friend dead on the side of the street. Like, I've experienced those things, and maybe obviously it's not something that I want to experience more than the amount of times that I have. Let me be very clear. It's not. I wouldn't know how to manage myself growing up consistently seeing that, such as Little Dirks and stuff. You know, when I did not grow up in the middle of hood, like I didn't. I grew up in the suburbs, so it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? Who I am and my life path has put me in these particular places, predicaments, and things like that, right? So, what I can say is it's everywhere, and it's these young men who are out here on the street killing each other and just bystanders, others. I do remember in particular, I was living somewhere and I was at this event, basically where there was church all night, and you went in at 7, you didn't leave until dawn. Right at the end of the last 30-45 minutes, I remember the pastor of the church saying there was a young girl who had purchased these tickets for her mother and her grandmother to take them to church all night on her birthday. That was her gift on her birthday to her mother and her grandmother. Because there was a gang war, the little girl got hit by a straight bullet and she died. They never even made it to church all night. And that particular story sits with me the most because these individuals do not care about anything or anybody outside of their immediate wants. And whatever it was, petty.
It's petty.
You put other people's lives in danger, missing children, and I just think that it's everywhere. You gotta look at places. It's places in New York is still like that. Chicago, one of the deadliest cities. Detroit, that's another one. Certain areas in Cali.
Yeah.
Florida.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
New York is a little. Certain places in New York are not great either. I think Philly has
And
some
just in our
places.
backyard in PG County.
Yep.
Like, so.
Out
Yeah,
here
I mean
too.
DC and Maryland have really high rates for murder for 2020. DC has a very high rate actually. I don't even want to say the number that I researched. I don't know if that's real or not. But then it was like my friend sent me an article and it said it was over 30 killings and it was like fucking May maybe at the time.
My dad was murdered in Maryland. My actual father.
We've lost friends, you know.
Yeah,
recently,
we've lost
in the last
friends.
few years in Maryland to shootings.
So
and things.
you know what I'm saying? This area's shit.
We gotta do better. That is unacceptable, man.
I just feel like, and not
That's
to go into
unacceptable.
another rabbit hole of a topic, we're gonna get into that one in the next one, but I feel like the black community is really the only community that really doesn't hold each other down. We're so busy fighting each other. You don't see Latinos out here doing that, whether it be, you know what I'm saying, Dominicans or Cubans. Like, you don't see them out there doing that. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Asian community, they don't do that. When you see, you have
your Hispanic gangs, but in regards to the level of our culture and just being black, it's a sad thing.
Higher.
It is. Yeah, it's higher, and it's a sad thing.
I don't know. I just want better for our young men. I want men.
I'm sorry, you're not good at the fucking hookah.
We gotta change the code. That's why.
Oh.
Yeah, we do. I didn't
That's
think about
what
it.
it is.
That's fine.
I just don't think we are. I think we just have to do better. Like, we just have to do better and better amongst ourselves. It really shouldn't be us two against each other. That's not, we're not the problem. You know what I'm saying?
But it goes back to self, because we're a reflection of ourselves. And it's like how we treat other people is how we treat ultimately ourselves.
It's how, or how you talking to someone else, how you talking to yourself in your mind. It's like, and you can know how people handle their household by how they handle things outside of the household. Like, it's a projection. I feel like, for sure.
100%.
It's real sad. I was disappointed to see that, man. Really disappointed. And one more last little topic I was disappointed to see was about, and this is going to kind of bring back the election vibes, but Miss Eva Longoria. Remember that post you sent me? Shorty. Can you play it real quick? And we're going to end on frying her little ass up real quick. That's the energy I'm giving her.
That made me feel a lot of a way, to be honest.
Y'all gotta fill me in, because I did not watch it.
You finna play it so you can hear it.
For Eva Longoria, I don't know if it's now a deleted tweet or not.
Oh, you messaged it to me on unFEMiliar Twitter, so it's in there on the messages. Or it might be under your sent messages.
She deleted it.
Oh.
She deleted
the tweet,
I bet
she
I'm gonna bring it back up. That's fine, because somebody it's on here. So basically, she deleted it. She didn't apologize. So basically, she was basically having an interview, and she made some statements diminishing Black women and how they assisted during this particular election. The statement was, she was like got on like a Zoom call for like CNN or some shit. I don't know what station it was, but the guy was basically the anchor was basically telling her, wow, like, women of color really led this election as far as all the votes and leaning towards Biden. I don't know if you're gonna be able to find it, but she brought up, oh yeah, well, you saw what Black women did in Atlanta, but the Latina women are the real heroines here.
Ooh.
Was her exact fucking verbiage. I retweeted it.
So I will say this: why do people say stuff and then get mad at the response and then say sorry? Like, if that's how you felt, that's how you felt. I ain't saying what you said is right. I ain't saying what you said is something I like. But if that's something you feel, then why recant it?
That's that authenticity. That's the word of the pod.
Now, I get that sometimes we say things in a way that it may be perceived wrong. But if you really feel that way, then own that shit. Like,
I mean, look, maybe Latinas are your heroines.
Yeah, this is what she said. Yeah. The women of color showed up in big ways. Of course, you saw in Georgia what Black women have done, but Latina women are the real heroines here.
Heroines.
And in what way, I guess?
Women of color, putting Joe Biden over the top of what that means. If that all just exploded along with, a clear electoral vote margin a Tuesday night, that might have sunk in. Instead, we had a lot of other stuff between then and now that doesn't really matter. And so I wonder what you think about that, because going forward, this is also about power, and does the Democratic Party understand why it's back in power?
Yeah, I think you bring up a good point. I mean, I think campaign financing needs to be looked at. I think the way in which we campaigned, there were so many false ads in Florida in Spanish. Spanish wasn't regulated the same as in English, and so I do think we need to take a look at that. Again, our work is just beginning, but I want to talk about what you just said about the women. The women of color showed up in big ways. Of course, you saw in Georgia what Black women have done, but Latina women were the real heroines here, beating men in turnout in every state and voting for Biden-Harris at an average rate close to 3-1, and that wasn't surprising to us. Latinos are the seat.
So
her wording was really messed up.
What I said on Twitter was, this is irresponsible, and it is. I don't think it was a responsible way to convey her point.
I agree.
Because the fact of the matter is, majority of the Hispanic community in Florida, whether it be a man or a woman, voted for Trump. Period. So it was that was a strong amount of his votes in Florida. And Latino community can go in and dissect it. Those are the Cuban Latino, light skinned Latinos versus the Afro Latinos. But regardless, it's the fact is the fact. You know what I'm saying?
And black people still can't get a shine. Like, damn. Like,
yeah, we
really?
saw what they did,
she registered close to 700,000 fucking voters after her own election was stolen from her in Georgia. Stacey Abrams has single-handedly walked this motherfucking election on her back.
Okay.
And that's a period. Because Georgia is a state with a lot of electoral votes. It's a very rare state for majority. Almost, I don't think it's ever been blue.
Never. That was the first time I seen it.
It's never been blue. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just saying, I'm sure there are a few Latino women who did help. But I'm also positive that there were no Latino women who registered over 700,000 voters to vote.
I just didn't like it. Was what you said irresponsible?
It was irresponsible.
It
statement.
was dismissive as hell, and I just don't understand. Also, what if you want to speak about what a specific race did? Why bring up any other race?
It's given pick me. Oh, I see what they did, but look what we did. Pick me, girl. Girl's tired.
I didn't appreciate it, and
That's
there
what
was
it
a
was
better
given.
way to present that. And
There
what did we
was.
say
It was
earlier?
really
There's
given
a
this.
way better way to.
Yeah, like it was just a better way to handle that
Shady.
situation. It was very. Ooh, it was Phaedra shady.
It was a deep read. She read us like it was really unfamiliar of you, Eva. So
Girl, road recognized round. I don't see you, shorty.
I can't figure
I
out where you
cannot.
at. Where you at? Where you at? Those. All right, we're gonna close it out. We've been here too long. Does anybody have any final thoughts, closing words, or anything that they want to say to the people?
I said love and light. Love and light.
Beautiful. I'm gonna second that notion.
I'm gonna third it. And peace.
Love, light, and peace.
Peace.
Love, light, and
Peace is
peace.
very important.
Yep, and yeah. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back next week.
Namaste.